This is Trade Flow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. Trade Flow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
OPEC oil output rose in July to its highest since April 2020, a Reuters survey found, as the group further eased production curbs under a pact with its allies and top exporter Saudi Arabia phased out a voluntary supply cut. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries has pumped 26.72 million barrels per day, BPD, the survey found, up 610,000 barrels of oil per day from June's revised estimate. Output has risen every month since June 2020 apart from in February. OPEC and allies, known as OPEC+, have been unwinding record output cuts agreed in April 2020, as demand and the economy recover. With oil prices rising to a 2.5-year high, OPEC+ decided this month on further hikes from August.
Oil prices edged higher on Friday, with global benchmark Brent posting a fourth monthly gain, with demand growing faster than supply and vaccinations expected to alleviate the impact of a resurgence in COVID-19 infections across the world. Brent crude futures for September, which expired on Friday, rose 28 cents, to settle at $76.33 per barrel. The more active contract for October ended the session up 31 cents at $75.41 per barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate, WTI, crude futures rose 33 cents, or 0.5%, to end the session at $73.95 a barrel. Both benchmarks notched gains of more than 2% for the week, while Brent rose 1.6% in July, its fourth straight monthly increase. WTI was unchanged for the month.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Russia's energy ministry said on Friday it filed a proposal for the government to start a procedure for a ban on gasoline exports. The energy ministry proposed to the government to launch an urgent procedure of banning exports of gasoline, the ministry said in a statement. It said earlier that the ban may help to reduce domestic prices for gasoline after they rose in recent months, which is a sensitive issue for Russia ahead of the September parliamentary election.
The U.S. Justice Department, DOJ, on Friday announced the seizure of a 2,734-ton tanker it said was owned and operated by a Singaporean national and used to make shipments of petroleum products to North Korea in violation of international sanctions. A DOJ statement said the MT Courageous was seized by Cambodian authorities in March 2020 in accordance with a U.S. warrant, having been used to transfer oil products to North Korean vessels and to make direct shipments to the North Korean port of Nampo. Criminal charges of conspiracy to evade economic sanctions on the DPRK and money laundering conspiracy are pending against the alleged owner and operator of the Courageous, Kwek Kee Seng, a Singaporean national who remains at large, it said, using the acronym of North Korea's official name, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Russia is considering pegging a mineral extraction tax, MET, levied on its metals producers to the global price of their products from 2022, the Interfax news agency reported on Friday, citing Deputy Finance Minister Alexei Sazonov. Moscow has been trying to protect its defense and construction industries from further growth in raw materials costs as metals prices rise at a global level. It has already imposed new export taxes for steel, nickel, aluminium and copper, which will cost their producers $2.3 billion in August to December 2021.
Aluminium prices climbed to the highest in over 3 years on Friday on concern about reduced supplies in top producer China after more power cuts in the metal-producing province of Yunnan. 3-month aluminium on the London Metal Exchange was up 0.1% at $2,593 a ton by 1600 GMT, on track for its sixth straight monthly gain. Prices paired gains after touching $2,642, the highest since April 2018, after the dollar index reversed and moved into positive territory, making metals priced in the US unit more expensive for buyers using other currencies. The dollar was bolstered by data showing U.S. consumer spending rose more than expected.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
The European Commission on Friday raised its forecast of usable production of common wheat for the European Union's 27 member countries in 2021-22 to 127.7 million tons from 125.8 million estimated last month. That compared with a 2020-21 crop of 117.2 million tons, the Commission's monthly supply and demand data showed. The outlook for EU common wheat exports in 2021-22 was unchanged at 30 million tons estimated in June. That compared with an estimate of 27 million tons in the 2020-21 season ending June 30th.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to Trade Flow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at Trade Flow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.